Buongiorno. It's Columbus Day, and we, who come from Italian families, we still celebrate Columbus Day. So I'm wearing my New York Little Italy, which way am I crooked here? And I finally fixed my camera, so I'm facing frontwards. You can read my stuff. Isn't that cool? So, buongiorno, everybody. I'm going to give it a minute, give you guys time to come on. I'm going to clean my steamy glasses. While we're waiting, I'm going to put on a little bit of a song. Now it should work. I have this whole playlist. It's all different versions of the Italian national anthem. And you know, Christopher Columbus, this whole Christopher Columbus thing just really gets my goat. Oh. Fratelli d'Italia, l'Italia di destra. Anyway. Se cinta la destra, la vittoria. Anyway. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off now. I love seeing all the little hearts and likes and things. Anyway, so to celebrate Italian Heritage Month, actually we're gonna keep doing that all the rest of the month because I've been so busy moving. I knew it, but I wasn't paying attention. I did put my Italian flag out in front of my new house. Anyway, it's Columbus Day, and one of the most popular, most common treats that will be made in Italy is a crostata. So hold on, and we're gonna get ready to make one. Okay, so now that we've done our little Italian national anthem, a little Italian music, we're gonna focus on making a crostata. A crostata is a very popular, very typical Italian after dinner treat, breakfast, afternoon snack, whatever you want it to be. So we're gonna make one today with marmellata di albicocca, which is apricot marmalade. A crostata is kind of like a pie. It's more like a tart. We tend to make tarts that are closed. I mean, the ones I've always grown up making. This is gonna have a nice lattice on the top. They're very thin. The crust is not very sweet, but just a little bit sweet. Because you get most of your sweetness from your thin layer of your albicocca, your apricot. Apricot and raspberry are two of the most popular jams, or frutto di bosco, which is another one, which is berries of the woods. So basically just a mixed wild berries. I don't have any frutto di bosco here because we don't really often find that. Once in a while I do, and when I do, I buy it. But I always have raspberry and I always have apricot. Today we're gonna make apricot because I'm in an albicocca kind of mood. All right, so we're gonna make this cool crust. So we're gonna start with our butter. So 150 grams of butter. I'm gonna put my glasses on so I don't mess you guys up. 150 grams of butter is basically about it's about a 1 1/3 cup. It's 3 tablespoons, so half, one stick and 3 tablespoons. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11 tablespoons of butter, or 150 grams. Okay, so and it's room temperature, so it's soft, but it's not mushy. Because we want it to be, I already kind of cut it off, so it was the right measurement. Because, I'm trying to be ahead like that. And I even finally got my oven preheated on time. This oven preheats, so I'm learning my new kitchen. Oven preheats a little slow. And the fan, after you turn it off, it stays on and it cools it off, but it stays on seems like forever. But anyway, throw this away. Just because I feel like walking off camera. Okay, so we're gonna add the sugar, which is powdered sugar in this particular recipe. I've made it with granulated sugar before too, so you can do that. if you want. The sugar is only 100 grams, so I'm going to tell you how much that is in a minute. I'm going to start this. Let's see how much half a cup is. So that's 64. Okay, so 100 grams is just shy of a cup. So I'm going to say it's more than 3/4, but less than a cup. Good grief. Well, I'm only taking out like little. There you go, 101, good enough. So 101 grams. Oops. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to add in the vanilla and the lemon zest. So we are going to do, a teaspoon of vanilla, a capful. I don't even know how much it said to do. What did it say? I don't even know. Because I always just kind of err on the side of a capful. I'm going to put this on low, let it start mixing. You never want to go fast when you've got powdered sugar in a bowl because it goes whoop. And I've had powdered sugar up my nose because I've done that before. Okay, got that started. Now, with my nice washed organic lemon, I'm going to zest it. This is called scorza di limone. A little scorza, a little zest. Kind of sounds, scorza, zesta, scorza di limone. We're going to put it in this un po' di zest. Un po' di zest. No. I'm in a great silly mood today. What the heck I'm doing. But it is Italian Heritage Month, and for the rest of the month, starting tomorrow, or starting the next time I'm on, because my life is so crazy right now, but I'm so happy to be here. Meaning happy to be here with you guys, and happy to be here in Delaware, and happy to be in my kitchen. Oh my gosh. So, well, wait a minute. I'll tell you about it when we sit down, because I'll go crazy and then I'll forget about what I'm doing here. I always put in a little more zest than it comes to zesting a whole lemon. It's not a huge lemon, so it's fine. Probably half is enough, but what the heck? There's something about lemon zest, I'm telling you. So this comes out to, let's use this spoon, comes out to probably loosely packed teaspoon, or high, if I smush it, but I don't want to smush it. I'm just going to sprinkle it around. Oops. Let's not waste one piece of zest, because that, look at that. That's because it had the jam on it. It was sticky. Okay, now we're going to mix it. Get that flavor in the butter. Burro. So how are you guys doing today? I mean, this is today the gloomiest day since we've moved in. It's been raining since last night. I heard the little raindrops on the window. I love that sound. It's so relaxing. So anyway, just sharing. Is it raining where you are? Because it's been raining here. I don't know how long it's going to last, but hopefully not too long. So now we need yolks. Now I'm going to tell you guys something that I often do when I'm just making stuff for us and something calls for like 4 or 5 yolks. Honestly, I cheat. I will put in 2 eggs because it's the same amount of liquid. It's not all yolks. Just because sometimes I don't know if I'm going to use the whites. Of course, now I kind of do, but sometimes they get kind of stuck in the fridge and we forget about them. But today, I am going to save the whites. I'm going to get a jar, actually. So I'll make a egg white something tomorrow morning for breakfast, for whoever wants it. But today, since it's Italian everything true, I'm doing it the true way. So I'm going to save the yolks. You use just the yolks like it calls for. The way you waste nothing anyway. We still use up the whites. Sometimes I just don't have enough eggs or whatever, and so I'll just use a regular egg. Today I have enough eggs, and we are gonna do this exactly, truly. If I can get this egg open. There we go. That one was like funky. 2. Boop. And 5. Okay. Take that out of my way. Get my towel. I don't want to wipe my hands on this apron today. It's like my pretty Italian New York Little Italy apron. I'll move those whites over here for now. And I'll put a lid on those and put them in the fridge afterwards. All right, wipe my board off, my kneading board. So I have 5 egg yolks. I don't know what they weigh, but hey, whatever. Okay, I need a spatula, so hold tight, because I can't remember which drawer. I remember. What do you know? I almost forgot where my stuff is. I'm still trying to remember, but I just like to scrape the sides down a little bit. There we go. I'm just going to put a pinch of salt in here. Well, kind of too light pinch. Forgot to add the honey. Got to do all the wet stuff first. See? You get distracted. So now, one little trick, and I'm going to go ahead and use the egg. So sometimes when you want to measure out honey, if you had something else inside so like an oil, like maybe lightly oil. Now this has the egg kind of, so I'm going to just kind of do this. It helps it come out of the thing better, out of the cup better. So we're putting in just 20 grams of honey. Turn that back on. So that is, wait a minute. I have a feeling. I don't want to do it too much because then I'm going to overdo it and it'll be stuck in the egg. That's already 13. 17. 20. I'm going to say that's a nice tablespoon of honey. So not much. It's not a super sweet thing. Just enough to have a little bit of something. Okay. Okay, so we want 250 grams of flour. So that's 1 cup. Approximately 2 cups, I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, just shy of 2 cups. Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in half, mix it, and then put the other half in. So I'm going to put some here. Then we're going to put the other half. Something really important when you're mixing in the flour now, you really want to just mix it. You don't want to overwork it because you don't want it to get all glutinous. You want this to be crumbly and nice. see better. Not that you can see anything but me, but you know. Roll this stuff out of the way. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, mix the rest of it with my spatula. So I really don't want to over mix the dough. Nice and buttery. So good. All right. Oops, there's a piece of butter. So I'm just gonna scrape my sides down. And I'm just gonna lightly mix this together. So it's coming together nicely. See how it is? Okay. So before I turn it out onto this board, yeah, that's the flour. For a minute, I'm like, did I just get the powdered sugar? So we don't want to add too much flour, but a little bit too. Okie dokie. Boom. And we're just going to nicely put this together. Just knead it a little teeny bit until it just comes together. That's it. Now this is completely 100% different than an American pie crust. It's a whole nother flavor profile, another texture. These ones are almost cookie-like. Oh, left the flour right in front of me. Now, I will tell you this. If you're making one of these, ideally, what you want to do is make it the day before, or the morning, for the evening, or the night before, and put it in the refrigerator. It rolls out so much nicer. So, I would always, minimum, refrigerate this for half an hour. Now, I'm not going to do that right now, because I want to show you how it's all going to look. Let's see. Actually, what I'm going to do is just put it in for 5 minutes while I just get the rest of my stuff together. What's this baby? So we're going to use, you know, it says 250 grams. I don't know how much we're going to see, but what I'm going to do is, the reason I'm going to take some of this and put it in a different, I could just put it straight from here, but we're going to mix some more lemon zest in with the apricot. So we're going to do I think it's pretty much the whole, no, it's not the whole jar. Okay, that, and hold on, I'm getting another lemon. Okay, and we're gonna zest some lemon into my apricot. Now, if you have like some dried apricots, and you want to maybe add a little bit more texture, because a lot of times apricot jams or preserves are hard to come by that are chunky or anything. If you want it little chunks in it, I would cut up some dried apricots or even some fresh apricots. But I cut them up into little pieces, and I would simmer them with just a little bit of something like maybe a little wine or a little juice. Just to soften them up a little bit. Like this one here has some nice chunks in there. I mean, you can't really tell, but that's a chunk. So this is nice. It's not too smooth. Sometimes you find those ones and they're completely devoid of any texture whatsoever. But this is really nice. All right. So we're going to pretend that this dough has been in the fridge for a day, an hour, half an hour. Oh goody, look at my beautiful dough. So nice and firm. No, it's actually kind of soft, but anyway. Okay. The bowl's cold. So now a lot of times these would be typically made in like some kind of a ring or a spring form so that they can be freestanding. Today, I just decided because it's pretty, I'm going to put it in one of my glass little tart dishes. So, and we'll just cut it out of there. So time for the rolling pin. We're gonna cut this in half. Take the bigger half. Get a little bit more flour. Make this into a nice round disc first, so that it. Now, ideally, you know what? This is really soft. I'm going to do ideally. Hold on. You can take a piece of plastic wrap, a piece of parchment paper, a piece of wax paper, and roll it on there. And it's really smart to do because, especially because this is soft, once I make it into, let's get this all nice and floury on that side. Don't put the flour on here. There we go. Okay. This way you can pick it up, place it in your thing, and you're not gonna break it while you're getting there. Definitely need some flour on top because it's nice and sticky on my rolling pin. Just gonna go gently, make a nice circle if we can. Again, this is kind of soft. This is not the way it would be if you're making it yourself, because you're gonna do it the right way and let it rest. But I'm just showing you because this is live. This isn't, okay, I made half of it early. Sometimes I do. Like if I was making pizza or something right now, I would have made the dough earlier. And we're gonna do that one day soon because that's a very Italian thing. So we're gonna celebrate this month. Obviously, we're always celebrating because that's what Italians do. Okay, so we've got this nice, maybe I should do this a little smidge thinner. Even it out. And hopefully this will go all the way around this thing. So you pick it up and you put it down. Ta-da! I didn't put enough flour on the paper. I'm being very gentle here. Don't you love when you fail when people are watching you? You ever said, watch this, and it totally goes the wrong way? There we go. I did it. There. Ta-da. Itch. Okay, so we're just going to fix these little corners. Take this and just crisp cut the ends up. There's a little hole here, so this is what's nice about this dough. It's very forgiving. Okay. Put that there. And what does that look like? Oh, I thought it looked like a piece of garlic, but it wasn't. It was just flour. Now right now, because this is so wet, I don't really need to do this. Usually it's a little drier, but I'm going to go ahead and make my little holes in the bottom anyway. The air comes through and doesn't supposedly bubble up. Now we're going to put in our awesome spread here. It's mixed with our lemon. Very simple. So right now I'm using bought preserves. We can make some. We're going to, but just gonna help. Let me get situated in my new house first. I'm just gonna spread this all around. Again, it's not very thick. It's just enough. Well, I think this might have been a little bit bigger around than what is usually called for. So I'm gonna just throw in one more spoonful. Mix it in so it gets some of the lemon. This is what you do, you know, you just modify as you go along. Okay, look at that, isn't that pretty? Now we're not done yet. So now this is kind of soft. So normally this would roll out, you know, a lot firmer to make my top lattice. I'm gonna just mix in a little extra dough right now, a little extra flour, just to firm it up a little. Again, remember, the refrigerator is a very, very important ingredient in pastry. Okay. See, my dough just came out of the refrigerator. We're gonna start with smaller pieces. I know, I'm a dork. So, we just want it to be long enough to go crisscross. You could even, if you wanted to, roll them out and just put them on that way. So you can cut them with your cutting tool here. You can use, oh, let's zigzag them, because I know where my zigzag cutter is. Ta-da! You can do them straight, you can do them zigzag. Let's be fancy today, because we're celebrating Christopher Columbus. Very gently, just put it across. So what we're going to do here, a lot of times we tend to, American style, we tend to do them like checkerboard. But Italian style, they tend to do, I mean, I've seen them that way too, but they tend to do like this diagonal. So we're going to do it that way too. Because we're doing this as Italian as we can be today. What's really interesting to me is that a lot of times, you know, and I'm such a perfectionist, I'm always trying to make things perfect. And a lot of the tarts and things in Italy, they're just kind of put on, they're not perfect. You can see, and I'm always like, I could have done that straighter or more meticulously. And I'm like, you know what? That's kind of the beauty of it. They just put it together. It's more about the, it's so beautiful in its simplicity. Okay. Oops, I pulled that piece over. And then one of the things that they typically do there, that you don't see here, is they will take a piece and put it around on the inside. So you can put it round or flat, and it will be flattened. All around the inside here. And we're just gonna usually it's they'll roll it out flat just like we did those other pieces, but I already had a little bit of challenge with that right now. And that kind of ties it all together. And here we go. Ta-da! God, that looks so pretty. We're gonna throw this in the oven. So, normally would be like a 350 to 375. I'm gonna say, I tend to go a little higher, but I think this oven, I'm gonna go get a thermometer and test it. But I think it runs a little cooler than normal, so I put it on 375. But I would say 350, and it's about a half an hour. But it's just, keep an eye on it, because your oven, and these are delicate, so it doesn't really, the inside doesn't have to cook. So it's just about, I'm gonna make a little tart out of that later, after I put it in the refrigerator, so I can roll it out. Anyway, 350 to 375 for 25 to 35 minutes, depending on your oven. You want it to just be cooked, a light, possibly light golden, just a smidgen around the edges, and then you're done. So that's that. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick, so hold tight. So I've been trying really hard to get everything organized and put together, and it's been tough. It's been crazy. So when what was I gonna say? And I'm foggy here. Good grief. So when I started doing my little show here back in March 13th actually, which was a Friday, because I consider Friday the 13th to be lucky. Because I'm Italian, and Italians think 13 is a lucky number. In here, we think it's an unlucky number. But since I live in America and I'm Italian, 13 is lucky, not unlucky. Supposedly unlucky in Italy is 17, but since, even though I'm Italian, since I live in America, see, that's null and void too. So see, I have no bad luck whatsoever. Everything's null and void bad luck wise. I don't believe in bad luck anyway. You create your own. So, so let me scroll down here and see who's, let's see if I can see this. Oh my goodness. Wow. All right. So hello everybody. If you're on for the first time, and I see some names I don't think I recognize. This is cool. So, if you're on, please say hello to me so I see you. And, I just said your names now, but, this is really exciting because slowly but surely we're getting a bigger following. And, I really, so I was starting to say, as when I first started doing the show here, I was doing the cooking, and then I was doing some interviews, and I always had my little topics of discussion that I think are really important. Because the only topic of it's in my face at the moment, besides everything else is running around in the background, is unpacking boxes. So, I haven't been quite as prepared, but then I realized that, about today being Columbus Day, and, this is Italian Heritage Month. And, I love everybody. Everybody knows. Hi, Jim. You want me to call you Mama? Okay, Carrie. Hi, Mama. I'm just kidding. I love all people, and I believe everybody deserves love and recognition and fairness and all this kind of stuff. But I gotta say something. Not for nothing, but I feel like us Italians are getting a little short end of the stick here because we just get knocked around. We're getting, more Italians immigrated to the United States in the early part of last century than any other immigrant group. They started out to Louisiana. Believe it or not, I was surprised. I found out that the first Italians came to New Orleans, and then they started coming to other parts of the country. Just like my ancestors, people from my town, not my ancestors, but people from my village came in the 1880s, 1890s, and went to eastern Pennsylvania, where our Rosetta, Pennsylvania is. But there's a lot of other places in the United States where enclaves of Italians settled. Ohio, Detroit. So Ohio is I think the Youngstown area, Cincinnati, Akron. There's a whole bunch of Rosatans in Akron too. So I feel like, in St. Louis, you know, the first United States World Cup soccer team was mainly based out of a whole bunch of Italian guys from St. Louis were on that original team. So that tells you something. They got to go get the always. You remember that kid movie? Did any of you show your kids that movie? Crap, I can't remember what it was called, but it was Will Ferrell and those little blonde-haired twins, and then he was coaching their soccer team, and the team stunk, and then there was these two little Italian boys, and they're like, put in the Italians, you know. So anyway, so that's what they did. The first World Cup team back in the 1950 or 52. It was always an even year. Anyway, so you know, we're all over the place. It's one of the, now I will tell you this, more Italians went home than any other immigrant group. So they came here, you know, helped build this country. You know, look at New York. Everything's named after an Italian. Verrazzano Bridge, I can't remember, you know, but anyway, there's lots of them. You know, even this country is named after Vespucci. And everybody says Amerigo Vespucci, but it was actually Amerigo is how you pronounce it. Amerigo Vespucci, who this country is actually named after an Italian. So I feel like taking away, thank you, LaGuardia Airport, thank you. So, you know, we really need to stand up for ourselves, those of us who are Italian, and remind people that we too went through some crap and that we deserve our day. And you know, I'm going to do my 2-cent stick up for Columbus. You can sit here and say, oh, he was a bad guy, he was bad to the indigenous people, he exploited this, exploited that. You know what? If he was some Nordic Viking dude and came here and found this country. Sorry, I'm playing with a bracelet that's on the table. See, I can't not have my hands moving. Anyway, if it was like I said, some big red-bearded dude, and he came here to this country, everything would have happened the same way. We just would have gone in that direction instead of this direction. But those were the times. Look back in biblical times. They hung people on crosses, you know. Not the way we do it today. Do we condemn all Romans or all Christians or all whatever because they hung people on crosses instead of hanging them? You know, over the early part of America, people got hung from trees or from gallows or whatever those things. Or in France, they cut their people's heads off. If we're going to condemn every group of people, every race, every ethnicity for the atrocities that they lived with hundreds of years ago, how stupid are we? What we should say is, hey, look how far we've come. Look how much better we are today. Look how nice we all are now, supposedly. Now we just kill each other with words, and that sucks too. So, you know, mean people suck all the way around, whether you're just being mean and killing people on the inside, or you're being some horror person and hanging people or shooting people or beheading people. It's all killing people. You can kill people slowly or very quickly, but you know, we got to stop doing that crap. We got to share the love, starting at your own home table. Okay, share it with your kids, share it with your spouse, share it with your friends, share it with whoever is around, your neighbors, your roommates, you know, and be nice. Damn it, just be nice. So, and besides, you know, we really need the Italians here because otherwise there'd be no good pizza. And, you know, we would die without pizza. America would die without pizza. Put that one in your craw and think about it. Yeah, we would die without Friday night pizza. Okay, so, you know, that's that. So anyway, on to a lighter note. I was actually thinking about making pizza today, and I was going to do it, but, you know, it's such I wanted to do something celebratory, and that's why I decided to make the crostata. Let me see, who wrote something long here? I'm going to have to read it after. I can't. Eileen, hello. Yeah, Eileen, I gotta tell you something though about the melting pot. See, I think we've been kind of forced into melting, and I think that we should be an antipasto platter, where each thing shines on its own, but together it's this a beautiful platter. I have this really cool idea one of these days I'm gonna do. I found this really awesome company up in Michigan, and they made these platters, and then now they've stopped doing it before I could order one. It was actually a beautiful white glazed ceramic platter that was in the shape of the United States. But I do have a cutting board in the shape of the United States, and I'm gonna make a beautiful antipasto on that America platter and show you. Because you see, each thing separately shines on its own, but together, oh, it's a beautiful platter, you know? That's what we should be. We need to celebrate all of our individualities, not try to smush them together and erase them. We don't want to be blah bland. We want to be like exciting here. I love when I go to Canada, I go to my cousins. There's the Italian neighborhood and the Polish neighborhood. And if you want if you want good food, you go to a whole neighborhood that's of those people. That's authentic, good food. You want pierogies? Go to the Polish neighborhood. Yeah, okay. And I love pierogies. Even though I'm Italian, I can appreciate other ethnic foods, which I love. Oh, I have to do a shout out to a restaurant that we've just gone to twice here in the new neighborhood. Luna's, oh gosh, I forgot what it's called. It's anyway, Luna's something cafe. It's a Mexican place. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna steal this recipe because you see the recipe that I had the other night, the dish I had was, it was fresh sea bass on polenta. So see, they Italianized this Mexican food. A little fusion is okay. And but the fish was in this, like, they said it was a red pepper sauce. It was like savory, but a little sweet. And it had like this corn salsa-y thing on top, but it didn't taste too salsa-like. It had its own, this red pepper sauce was to die for. It could have been Mexican, could have been Italian. It was, I'm telling you, this fish was so good. This is the kind of fish you want when you come to live near the beach. You want fresh fish, beautiful flavors. So, I gotta remember that. I can't remember what it's called. Luna's something cafe. I've only been there twice. But anyway, anyhow, Manuel is the owner and Manolo's one of the waiters, and these guys are awesome. And to top it all off, the whole place is decked out in soccer paraphernalia, like international soccer. Because there's the Italian one and the Argentinian one and the Mexican one and the English one and the Irish ones. National team, they've got all the flags and the scarves and all that stuff. And it was just really, really, it's a cool place. Right up my alley. Good food and soccer, the best. So, even though Italy has 4 stars, we've won 4 World Cups. So, that's a big deal for us. So please do me a favor today. Make something Italian to celebrate and to acknowledge that Christopher Columbus, who bumped into this country, did what guys did back then. They went exploring and, found a place. No, he didn't discover it because people were already here, but he did discover it for the Western world, or the Eastern world. Oh, what is that? Anyway, for Europe. Because they didn't know it was there. So, like, I discovered a new restaurant. Well, it was already there, but I discovered it for me. So you see, we get too crazy into the semantics of it all, and he did discover it for Europe. So, he didn't discover it to the American Indians or the Native Americans, whatever you want to call them. You know what? Is it really horrible that we called them American Indians? He thought he was in India. He gave them a name. We get too hung up on piddly things. Because what did they call themselves? They didn't call themselves American Indians. They didn't call themselves Native Americans because they didn't name America. They called themselves Cherokee or whatever other Blackfoot or whatever other tribe they were. They called themselves their own name. They didn't call themselves of a country. So, if we want to refer to someone for state of reference, it shouldn't be. It's not a negative thing. Let me tell you something. The whole Washington Redskin thing, irks me to death. Because see, to me, that is a sign of, think about how many Indian names teams have, because they're considered tough. They're considered, go-get-ems. It's not meant as an insult. So why would you want to put something insulting as your team name? Hi, we're the Washington Jackoffs. I mean, we would never do something like that. Seriously? It's a sign of it's almost kind of like bowing down to. So it makes me sad that we're getting to the point where we're getting so touchy that we have to worry about that kind of crap. You know how many times, most ethnicities have one derogatory term. Italians have 3, Dago, Guinea, and Wop, and I smell food. Hold on. Let's go check on the crostata while we talk about all the negative things they call Italians, But really, we are overboard on, we beat everybody out. We've got 3 names that they called us that were bad. So, people got to get over their crap because, oh my goodness, this is done. I think it's done. Oh. You want to see it? Let's look at it up close. Okay, here we go. Look at that. I think I'm going to let it sit for like 1 more minute. Hold on, I'm going to put it on the top rack just so that the rest of it oh my God, it smells so good. I'm going to put it there just for a minute. So anyway, back to, let's see here, maybe straight. No, it was crooked. I just feel like if Italians aren't running around whining about being called Dagos, Guineas, and Wops, look at all the things. Those wife beater t-shirts? What do they call them? Guinea tees. Yeah. We actually have a t-shirt named after us. Do you? Now, do you think it's really meant as an insult to Italians? Now, the wife beater t-shirt, that is an insult to all men. Men should be PO'd about that because that's an insult to men in general. So, but guinea tees, really? I don't get mad at that. Maybe I should. Everybody else, wants to get mad at stuff. Let's see, what are some other words? I don't know. But, WAP could have been anybody. It stood for without papers or without passport. And yet, it's kind of funny because most of us came over here illegally. But I'm sure, as I know my name, that some Italians came over illegally too. But then again, were there even laws about immigration way back at the very beginning of immigration? People were just coming here. There was not crowds of people that we were displacing at the time. We were just settling a country. So, we got to get over this crap. Anyway, okay, enough of the heavy stuff. I want to try this crostata. So, I'm going to take it out now. Let's go. Let me back you up a little. So let's see if we can do this. You can see my oven. Oh, it's just beautiful. Ooh, it's hot. Okay, let me fold up this towel. I'm going to show it to you really pretty now. Of course, I can't cut it now. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So it's got a little golden around the edges. The underneath has just a little bit of goldenness to it. The jam's not running because it's nice and firmed up. It's really nice. So I'm so excited. I just dropped a crumb. Okay. So, on that note, I'm going to leave you guys for today. I want you to I want everybody to go on YouTube and look up the Italian national anthem and play it today. And if you're Italian, go fly a flag and wear a guinea tee. I'm just kidding. That's really snarky, wasn't it? That was really dumb. No, just don't be so sensitive. Just go enjoy life. Just go enjoy life and be who you are. Seek out your heritage, bring it to your table, and share it with your family and friends, because that's what life's all about. That's what life is all about. Love. So, thank you all for the compliments on my green glasses. I found them the other day when I couldn't find my black ones. I've got so many different colors. God, I love the dollar store. Awesome place to get cool glasses. Dollar store. Actually, these are nicer ones. These were from a store in New Jersey called Amazing Savings. Those weren't $1. Those were $2.50. But I have about 24 pairs, all different colors, but I really like these green ones. I think I'm going to get some more. Anyway, have a good day. I love you all. And we are going to start having some interviews and some field trips and all that kind of stuff. It's coming. It's coming. I'm just happy I'm back on the air and here for you guys. So I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Mwah! Ciao. Buona giornata. Forza Italia.